Well, good morning. Hope that you're ready for a great Wednesday and just ready for God to bless you more than you can imagine. Now, we're down here in my barn. Now, don't get excited because my barn's in such bad shape and messy. But in the same way, I wanted to show you something, and hopefully it's something that will encourage you. Now, right here is a rocking chair that came into our thrift store. Now, if you look, there's something wrong with it. Most of the rocking chair is in good shape. There's not really anything wrong with it. It's in good shape. But the rockers, somewhere along the line, the rockers have set, I don't know if they set in water, whatever, but they rotted. This one broke off. This one's just barely hanging on. So a lot of times we'd say, well, that rocking chair's no good. There's nothing. We'll just throw that away, and most people would throw it away. But what about in our lives? Have you ever felt like that in your life where maybe you feel like, well, I'm just rotten. And it's rotted so bad, part of me's broke off, and I've done some things, I've done some stupid things, and sometimes I'm just barely holding on like this one is. And we see some of those things. But I wanted to remind you of something, because in Psalm 147:3 it says, He heals the brokenhearted and He binds up their wounds. So when we have those wounds, maybe we caused them, maybe we did something stupid, maybe something else caused it to happen, whatever the case may be. But when we have those wounds, God heals and God takes care of. So, all right, just like this old rocker, say, well, it's no good. So what can we do about this rocker? Well, maybe we can take the hammer, we can knock off some parts, and we can knock off, both the parts. And this one I'm going to use this one as a pattern. And and we're going to come over here, and I got a piece of wood right here that my friend Dan Fortner gave me. It's a piece of maple, and maple's pretty hard. So we'll be able to do something that's pretty hard stuff. After I'm going to start marking this, and it's going to take a bit, so I'll be right back, okay? All right, after we get it marked, the next step is to saw it. So turn the bandsaw, and bandsaw's noisy, and you see that? When we start sawing, it makes a lot of noise, but we'll be right back and show you some of the finished product, okay? All right, after a little sawing, you get them that look sort of like this. It looks like a rocker, doesn't it? And you can bring it over here to the sander. Now the sander, you can turn it on. It's loud, so I won't turn it on. But you can sand on these things and get them as smooth as you want them to be. Get some of the rough spots off and do that. And make them look like a rocker. Then we're going to come over here to another thing. Just bear with us here. We're going to come to the drill press, because we've got to have some way to fasten them to the rocking chair. So we turn the drill press on, and we drill some holes, and you see the holes right here, and we got the holes drilled in both of them. So then we go over here, back over to the rocking chair. Now, at the rocking chair, we got, if we put the holes in the right place and everything works good, then we can put the rockers back on, and it's looking more like a rocking chair all the time. Now, we tap those on, and we'll fasten them on good and all that stuff. And when you look at them, you'll say, well, I see what you did, but it don't look real good. But in our lives, a lot of times we think, well, all of the stuff in our lives and all the stupid stuff we've done, all we got to do is ask God to come in, and it's going to be perfect again. Now, our lives, all the sins will be white as snow, don't get me wrong. But there's things that remind us of things we've done in our lives so that we don't do them again. And so, though this may not be the same, there's scars that we have that sometimes the scars just remind us that, hey, it's going to be okay because God's helped me through, and God's going to keep on. And the other thing that I want you to see is this is a rocking chair again now, and can be used. Now I'm going to lift this rocking chair up, and you can see how the rockers work. And I'm going to set it right here. And I'm going to sit down in this rocking chair. And is it any good? Yeah, it works, and I can rock. And in our lives, there's a lot of times we think, well, just like those old rockers, they're all rotted and bent and broke, and we can't really do anything. We're not worth anything. But I'm here to tell you that no matter what we've done in our lives, God is able to use us. And so I wanted to remind you today that God is able to use you. No matter what your past is, you have a future with Him, and He wants to use you. So as you go forward today, remember, you belong to Him. If you've asked Him in, you belong to Him, and He can do great things with you no matter what your past is. Have a great Wednesday.